Spring is almost here, which means it's time to trade out those warm, comforting drinks for some cooling, refreshing drinks. Probiotic beverages are great for this. The first fermented drink we're going to be making is a fermented ginger ale. This drink is healthy, refreshing, and full of healthy probiotics. It's also really easy to make. You don't even need any starter, and you don't need to make a ginger bug like you need to do with ginger beer. So first peel and shred about 1/3 a cup of fresh ginger. To that grated ginger, add the juice of 1 lemon or lime, about 1/4 cup. Next, add 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of whey. You can get whey from straining off yogurt or other fermented dairy products. The whey is required for this recipe. It is going to ensure that healthy bacteria are going to be growing and not any unhealthy bacteria to make a spoiled drink. Next, add 1 teaspoon of salt and just under 1 quart of filtered water. And you are going to add 1/4 cup of sugar. Make sure your sugar is organic and preferably use something like sucanat or panela, which is a sugar that is from the whole cane, so all of the minerals and vitamins are still in the sugar. That's going to make it easier on your body. We're also fermenting the sugar, so it's not going to be as unhealthy as other sugary drinks. So add all of the ingredients into the jar and you're going to combine. I like to combine it just by shaking up the jar. After shaking everything up and making sure the sugar is well dissolved, you're going to let that ferment for about 3 or 4 days on the countertop. Then you're going to put it in the refrigerator. After you have refrigerated it and it's nice and cool, you can serve it with some carbonated water, which I like to use the SodaStream with glass containers, which I will link in the description box below. This makes a very refreshing drink for a hot summer day or even a spring day, especially after working outside. To serve, you just strain off a little bit into a cup and then add your nice cold carbonated water. This is a variation of the traditional drink called switchel, which was used by farmers to help keep hydrated on hot days. Our next drink is a fermented lemonade that originated in India. It was also enjoyed during the colonial days in America and is called punch. To make this drink, we first juice 3 lemons. And I notice if I don't use a tool to help remove all of the juice, there's a lot of juice remaining that I can't just get with my hands. So make sure to get all of the juice out of the lemons. Next, we're adding 1/4 cup of natural sugar and 1/4 cup of whey from fermented dairy products. We are going to combine everything well and make sure that sugar dissolves completely. And now we're adding fresh grated nutmeg. This is going to create a unique flavor after the fermentation process. You may think nutmeg is a strange ingredient to combine with lemons for a lemonade, but it's very interesting the different spices that have been used traditionally in fermented foods and how they aid in developing unique, delicious flavors. Now add about 1 quart of water and shake well until everything is dissolved and well combined. Then you're going to set this aside and let it ferment for about 3 days on the counter and then refrigerate. Then you are ready to enjoy, and this will develop more flavor over time. These 2 recipes I got from the book Nourishing Traditions, which I will link in the description box below. Next, we are making a kvass. This is a drink made by fermenting toasted bread and a sourdough starter, which is going to make a bubbly drink that some people have said tastes like cola. We'll see how mine turns out. So slice up some bread to toast it in the oven. We want in the end about 2 cups of toasted bread cubes. So I'm adding them onto a tray, and then I toasted these at about 325 for a while until they were nice and dried out. Toasting is important. It adds a caramelization which aids in the flavor, and it also helps to get rid of any mold spores that might be growing on the edges of our sourdough bread. And make sure that the bread you're using is a true sourdough. Next, I'm adding some hot water to about 1/4 cup of natural sugar, and I'm going to let that cool and then add it to the bread with some sourdough starter, and I used about 2 tablespoons of refreshed sourdough starter. This drink traditionally was made with rye bread and rye starter, so if you want to try the more traditional drink, I would get rye flour and make it that way. So add this combination to a jar. It'll be about 1 quart, and then either cover it with cloth or a top that you can burp. And after that ferments for about 5 days on the countertop, you can refrigerate it. Our final fermented beverage is clabbered milk, and this is the easiest to make. All you do is leave unpasteurized milk to ferment. I actually accidentally did this the first time by leaving raw milk in the fridge for about 2 or 3 weeks. But you can do it by leaving it out on the counter for a few days. It makes a delicious, nicely tart, fresh tasting yogurt drink. And you can even have it like yogurt by straining it like you would Greek yogurt with a cheesecloth. Thanks for watching. I would love to learn about the fermented drinks you enjoy in the comments below.